Hey, Topping Life's Math and History, and we're going to take a look at Eliminating the Variables Part 2. So in the last video, we have been trying to isolate one variable so it will magically eliminate itself. Then, when you insert what you get for the other variable, that one that you disappeared, the variable that was disappeared, will magically reappear again. But this kind of equation is a little bit different because not by subtracting the two, these two numbers, negative 2y and positive 8y, are not the opposites of each other. An example of numbers that would be the opposite would be like negative 8 and 8, or 7 and negative 7. Negative 2 and 8 are not, so what are we going to do about that? What we're going to do is mark the negative 2y and positive 8y and try to find a common multiple. This is basically the multiplication property of equality. So we're going to put parentheses on both of them. And what we know is 8y and 2y can be a multiple of 8. So basically, we want to put that negative 2y into negative 8y. So what we're going to do is multiply this by 4 and multiply that by 1. So everything in here in the parentheses for the top equation will be multiplied by 4. So our new equation is 16x minus that by 8y equals 16 multiplied by 4. That is 64. So basically, now we have two equations. Because if you multiply that with all this, it'll be the exact same thing. So let's write those on a new piece of paper. So, with negative 8y and positive 8y, when that happens, now we can eliminate the variable. So add this, add that, add that. So negative 4x plus 16x, that is going to be 12x. And that cancel out because it magically disappears. Plus 0 equals 8 plus 64, that will equal 72. So now, let's see what we get for x, and bring back y later. Divide by 12, and x equals 6. Okay, since we got x, or 6 as x, now we get to bring back the y variable. So let's see why this happens. So, we have is 4 multiply that by 6 minus that by 2y equals 16. And when we get y alone, 4 times 6 is 24 minus 2y equals 16. Then we have to subtract by 24, subtract that by 24, and we have negative 8 as an answer. Negative 2y equals negative 8. What is y? And why does this happen? So we're going to divide by negative 2, divide this side by negative 2, and y is going to equal 4. Let's see the other equation that we're going to use and see if it also equals y equals 4. So we have negative 4 multiplied that by x as, or multiplied by 6 as x, add that by 8y, and that's going to equal 8. What is y? So, that and that, negative 4 multiplied by 6 is negative 24, plus 8y equals 8. Then we have to add this side by 24, and add this side by 24. So we get 8y equals 32. Divide both sides by 8 to get y alone. And 32 divided by 8 is 4. So y equals 4. So that is our answer. We have, for what we answer for x and y, 6, 4 as an answer. Now let's prove that by using a graph. Yeah, we did it! So let's solve one more problem because this one is a little bit different. So we have negative 3x plus 7y equals 4 and negative 4x plus 5y equals negative 12. So, just like in this one, instead of doing it by 4, multiplying by 4 for the entire parentheses or in the equation, we have to do 2 times with these because 7y and 5y are not the same, or they're not opposing each other. They don't have the same number value by positive and negative. So, we're going to multiply both sides by any number you want. It is best as if you have 7y and 5y, if you eliminate that, it is best on what you multiply become a multiple of that number. So 7 and 5 go into 35. Well, it's least common multiple. So maybe you can have something in these boxes that have your equation be multiplied up to 35y. So basically, that is another step, another extra step, because going back to the first problem, you had to multiply that by negative 2y. But the only difference with this problem is you have to do it 2 times. The next steps after you do that is normal. Everything goes normally when you solve this equation. So, why don't you guys solve this equation for fun? Type in the comments below what you get for x and y. But the question is, why do we add everything in the first place? When you add the equations, you should get a new equation. But with that new equation, it's also going to work with 6, 4, for example, when you get x and y. And it's also going to intercept at that point. So when you're adding the two, you're making it easier to solve for x and y, and that new line of equation is still going to bring you to the same exact answer. Here's a proof. That is all the steps and all the information we need to know when we eliminate the variables. I hope this video has helped you. Thank you for watching Top Airlines Math Industry. Like and subscribe.